That first C of a successful technician is be competent technically. Because once you have competence, then you gain confidence. And by the way, David, the client gains confidence in you as well.
Oh, for sure.
So confidence works both ways. And then the third thing is, think of a technician out there right now that is maybe struggling with competence. The first C that I think is so critical when it comes to being a successful technician. I'm going to talk about the 3 C's here in a second. But competence, having that foundational layer of technical competency. Mm-hmm. How would you suggest that to someone they get more?
I would say don't be afraid to make mistakes as the first thing. We're all going to make mistakes whenever those happen. It's just what I always told myself is don't make the second mistake twice or the first mistake twice. Mm-hmm. And then always be open to doing new things and don't be afraid to communicate when you don't know, because there's always people that are going to be able to help you. Because the one thing I really like about Service Champions is that there's always someone to call if you don't know what you're doing. Even I tell the newer guys, if they want me to go with them to show them, I would love to go help them, show them how to do it the first time. Now they know, now they're building that confidence of, hey, I did this. Now the next thing, what can I learn next? And it just constantly, kind of just learning. I did a lot of YouTube videos, kind of seeing what I didn't know, kind of seeing videos about that. Because for me, I can read something and I can kind of understand it, but for me, it's more kind of seeing the visual of how it's done is a lot more my learning aspect. So for me, my advice would be is to do it, to do all the things you could possibly can do, to do every repair, to do everything. And if you haven't done a repair yet, to do it. So anytime it comes in the future, you're not worried about if you can do it. You know that anything that's available to do, you can do.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So would you say that the role that you're in as a technician is more of a sales role or is it a technical role?
So a lot of people will feel different views on that.
Yeah.
For myself, just like I was telling you earlier, I didn't skyrocket until my technical came to where my communication was. So it's a combination of both.
Yeah.
And what I was telling other people is you could be the most technical person in the world and know everything you possibly can, but if you can't relay that message to our client, then there's just a waste of your knowledge because we can't get your knowledge and use that for the client to figure out what they can do to make the best decision for them and really improve what's going on with them.
Yeah, I've seen many technicians come through the door throughout all of Wrench. I've seen them where they emphasize too much of their communication skills. Mm-hmm. They're almost too salesy, lacking the technical competency. And that's a very stressful situation to be in if you're looking to.
I had that experience at the most random place. I just remembered. And it was the veterinarian when I took my dog. Mm-hmm. And the lady came in and I was here for my dog. I just wanted to forgot what was going on with him. She comes in with an iPad and said, "These are the 3 things I can do for you." But we didn't even have a real conversation. And then she was like, "I recommend this one," but there was all 3 different prices on what the best one is. And the third one had the highest price point. And I was like, I came here for the vet. I didn't come here to get, sold on all these extra additives or additions for him. So that's how I felt. So I know I never want to make a client feel that way. And so when I want to, how to treat people the way you want to be treated is kind of my whole thing. So that when I felt that way, I made sure that I never want to make anyone feel that way when I go to their home.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Yes, it sounds to me like the person pulled out the iPad before they even diagnosed your dog, or all you were there for is let's just figure out what's wrong with my dog.
Yeah.
And she goes right into a sales pitch, good, better, best, and I really think you should start with the best. And it probably felt like you needed to take a shower.
Yeah,
you were done with it.
Yeah, did not see that coming. No,
yeah,
sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting that showed up for you at a vet. I've had a similar situation happen to me when I was just looking to get cabinets in my garage, and I just wanted cabinets. And the first person came out and it was just all slick sales, and all of a sudden it was discounted from $15,000 down to $5,000 before I knew it, and it was like, oh gosh, this just feels so weird. Mm-hmm. And then the next guy came out and was just so competent and gave me all these different solutions. And do you really need a top cabinet? And didn't sell me anything I didn't need. And obviously, guess who I went with? I ended up going with him because, like you said, totally competent. He sold me with his competency. He sold me with his solutions of what would be right for me. And so it's interesting. You have a scenario that is kind of interesting. Veterinarian. Mine was cabinets that just spoke to me. That first C of a successful technician is be competent technically. That's number one. Number two, and it's funny, you already said it, because once you have competence, then you gain confidence.
Yeah.
And you said that. Once I got competence, I gained confidence. And by the way, David, the client gains confidence in you as well.
Oh, for sure.
So confidence works both ways. And then the third thing is control, which is being able to control the situation, being able to ask the right questions to get the conversation to go where you want it to go, controlling your emotions and not getting too excited too fast. So just being cool. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's no different than, you're at a bar and you don't want to come off too strong to a woman.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she's going to be like, ooh, get away from me. It's like, just be cool.
Yeah.
Like, just let things marinate. Instead of being a microwave, be a crock pot.
Yeah. I get that from my dad, actually, going all the way back, is my dad is probably the most patient person in the whole entire world I've ever met. And like, I don't know even how he does it. And being married now, looking at him now, I was like, oh, patience is the key, and just always being patient. So he's always even keel all the time, unless, it was Walmart and I was making a show of things. Then he was like, okay, let's stop.
Yeah.
But I feel like everyone I talk to now says the same thing about me, is that I'm always just even keel. I'm never too high or too low on whatever happens, and just want to be calm. And when you go to someone's house where their house is, they're uncomfortable because it's too hot in the middle of a 100-degree day, or it's so cold because it's the middle of winter, just trying to make it calm and letting them know that we're going to get something done for them and that we're going to make sure we get a solution for them so they can be comfortable again as soon as possible.
And it's that calm voice of reason, it sounds like, that wins those clients over.
Yeah, I try to just stay even keel the whole entire time I'm there.
So good.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. Let's get into a call.
Okay.
So David's on a call. Let's just say it's a maintenance call. It's a 15-year-old system. System's running great. Meaning, system's running fine. It's 15 years old, so it's, you're going to obviously uncover some things and probably discover a few things through your call. Mm-hmm. Just take us through what a typical call looks like for you.
So this is what I tell everyone when they go on ride-alongs with me is, don't have a set thing you're going to say on every call. Don't treat every call the same. Every call, the minute the door opens, is always going to be different. You can have someone, especially after COVID and everyone stays home from work now, you can have people that, hey, I'm going to be in my conference call in 5 minutes. I'm only going to have 2 minutes to talk to you in an hour amount of time. So every time you open the door, kind of figure out what's their day going like. What's their plan for the next hour or two, so you can make sure you set up that time and set up where you're going to have that time to communicate them for the next 10, 15 minutes. Maybe it's only 2 minutes,
Right.
Sometimes people's homes. So you want to make sure that we set that in their mind that, in an hour or two, we're going to sit down and talk for about 10, 15 minutes what's the best time for them. And sometimes they're like, oh, anytime. Sometimes they're like, hey, I'm only between 10:30 and 11 I only got. So I make sure that that's always set from the beginning so we can make sure we always have a conversation.
Got it.
Because I've had people where you go, I was ready to go. I had all my paperwork done. And they're like, okay, thanks. I have a meeting to go to. I'll be for the next hour. And then now they don't have a chance to say anything they wanted to say. So just kind of set the format there, but treat every client in their own way. Kind of go with the flow, but still have a format that you lean on, that you want to cross all the T's and dot the I's. But what I always tell everyone is I always ask the same question at every call. And I always ask them, hey, even though we've been there for years or it's our first time out, I said, what's the one thing, if I can see anything in your entire home, that you want me to make sure we improve today? Maybe for 2 days, 3 days straight, they tell me nothing. Or maybe the first day someone tells me something. But by asking that question, you're always going to make sure that you never left out one client for the one thing that they wanted you to get across. Mm-hmm. So you always do that. After that, I kind of like give them a layout of exactly what I'm going to do. I ask where everything is. Is there anything I can do for them that day, especially with the holidays coming up? I know people leave their ornaments and all their stuff in the storage in the attic sometimes. So I always like, hey, if I can bring them down for you or stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So, and I know that our go-to thing is garbage day. We bring those garbages in for the clients and stuff like that. But just having the conversation of setting the format for the day for what I'm going to do, and then go ahead and do the normal tune-up. But make sure you check everything. Even though the ductwork was done 5 years ago, we still check it. Check the insulation levels, check the equipment. Now, since we've done electrical and plumbing, now check the panels, check the water lines. So don't prejudge a call is also like the number one thing. You never want to say, hey, everything's already done here, or they're not going to do anything. Just keep going through everything and make sure you touch on every basis, because if you leave something out, you're just costing yourself money, basically, is the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what I'm hearing is, and I like to refer to that as the explore step.
Yeah.
Which is just be super thorough.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Is that what you say? Do you think you do that differently than most technicians? Do you think you do that? Do you think you're pretty thorough on your calls?
Pretty, yeah. The one thing I do remember actually from you when you came to the CU is you were telling us about the picture frame you had of everything you wanted, your like kind of views of what your goals were. And what I took from that is my family, what we always do is anytime we see like a photo booth, we always take pictures. So I have a picture of my family, like a roll photo booth in my car. So I always look at it before every call, and I'm like, okay, even if I feel a little tired or feel a little bit not wanting to be there that day, I look at my photo, I know that's what the goal is, to make sure that I can do everything for them. And that's what makes me be thorough on every call, because the days I don't feel like maybe being as thorough, I remind myself what we're doing it all for. And so being thorough is making sure that you kind of hit everything without, one person told me this, it was kind of salesy, but if you don't check it, then the next person's going to get it. And so that's why I always wanted to make sure I got everything. Yeah. I didn't want to leave anything else for the next guy.
I was talking to a technician the other day, and I corrected him because he said, look, I'm just looking to get more out of my calls. Looking to get more out of my calls. And I just have to figure out how to get more. And I'm like, okay. Sounds pretty easy to me. First off, you got to tweak that language.
Yeah.
Because the only way you're going to get more is if you give more. So you have to give more and create more value for your client. Be a better steward in their home for them, because they deserve it.
Yeah.
When you go through and you're thorough and you look at things and you're able to give more, naturally what will happen is you get more.
Oh, yeah.
A technician that does tech-generated leads, is it possible for them to make over $300,000?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they can definitely.
And are you proof of that?
I'm definitely proof of that, yeah.
What do you think it is that David does that's world-class?
I let them understand the whole process of what's going to happen. I even give them the option of doing nothing.